The Jordan Center has been really useful to me in my career because as I mentioned before, I did post-communist politics generally. So even though I started off as an undergraduate, focusing mainly on Russia, and went to graduate school thinking I was going to want to do Russian foreign policy, I came out of graduate school being someone who studied post-communist politics generally. As I mentioned earlier, my first book was a comparative book about Russia, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. But then when I started doing this work on social media, my research began to expand even much more broadly with work on US politics, work on Middle Eastern politics. We wrote a paper about Venezuelan politics. So I was getting farther and farther away from Russia as the time went on in my own research interests. But when I became director of the Jordan Center, because there were so many events going on here, because I'm so involved with what's going on in the Jordan Center, I suddenly found myself paying much more, and even before that, when I was asked to be on the faculty advisory board of the Jordan Center, for me personally, the Jordan Center pulled me back into Russia. And I have learned so much. And I spent a lot of time as an undergraduate focusing on Russia, some time in graduate school, and then less time as I became a professor. The Jordan Center educated me about Russia and has, in part because I'm the director and I'm here a lot, has just pulled me into events on campus that I probably wouldn't have gone to otherwise. And I sort of reinvigorated my understanding of Russia and my appreciation of Russia and in some ways, my knowledge of, sort of Russian history and Russian culture, and given me all sorts of different ways to think about Russia, right at a time where Russia was becoming more important for my research because of global developments, first around the protests in 2011, and then once again when you had the events around Euromaidan and Ukraine and Crimea, and then of course the 2016 election. So for my career, it's actually turned out to be really, really beneficial to be pulled back into Russia for work-related reasons at a time when Russia got that much more important for the research that I was doing as well. So it's been really useful in that regard.